please don't let this Victoria Everest situation fizzle out. Now, I wanted to speak on it before, but I was waiting for all of the information, and I wanted to hear her side of the story, and then shortly after I travelled. So I didn't have time before, but...
Shout out to Solo Debonair, aka B Double. He's saying, listen, he never really had too much time to look in with the Victoria Everest scenario because he was on holiday and out of the country. But he's looked at it and he's like, stay on her. So my guy will be getting that distracted. Welcome to your next installment of Surviving Victoria Everest.
It's like, it's simple, black and white. You even make the payment for it. I'm just gonna go to peace. And you're gonna suffer and we're never gonna talk to each other, and that'll be it. Because you wanted to be stingy, you wanted to be stubborn, you wanted to be selfish. You didn't want to support me in this moment. This is such a small moment. When this money drops, when the house gets sold, then what?
When the money drops, when the house gets sold, then what? That's Victoria Everest. I think by now we all know her voice before she tries to say this is AI. So this is her having a conversation. And this whole stream and this whole live and this reaction is going to show exactly that Victoria Everest is a scammer. And on top of that, she was charged and she was convicted of being a liar. And she was not actually convicted of anything to do with lying on that man. She just confused it and had people using the same timeline for both. So this is an official statement between Regina, which is the government, court system, and Victoria Ekong, defense statement. Introduction. Ms. Ekong is charged with one count of perverting the course of justice between the 21st of December 2017 and the 30th of April 2020. The details of offences that Ms. Ekong nominated someone as the driver at the time of several speeding offences and failed to register her car in her name. That someone is stressed by does not exist. This was done by Mrs. Ekong to escape prosecution. The facts. On the 22nd December 2019, a vehicle activated a speed camera on the M23 Gatwick Junction 9 at 9:39 in the vehicle V777 CEO. Not a nice play. CEO, let people know. It was travelling at 47 miles per hour in a temporary speed limit of 40 miles per hour. The offence processing began and notice of intended prosecution was sent to the register keeper, Ms. Fatma Oskang of 16 Aylands Road, Enfield, Middlesex, EN3, 6 p.m. On the 19th of February 2020, the notice was returned filed in nominating a Lucy Bywater of 61 Markfield Road, London N15 4QA. A notice was sent to Ms. Bywater, but no response was received. Further inquiries were made to trace Miss Bywater in order to prosecute, but on checking all the relevant database, there was no record of Lucy Bywater. There was no record of Lucy Bywater, although there was a record of the name at 61 Markfield Road with 2 county court judgments, but nothing else. The name Lucy Bywater had been used by the register keeper Fatma Oscom in the same vehicle V777 CEO for speeding offences in London on the following dates: the 3rd of 12th, 2019, the 21st of the 2nd, 2020, 25th of the 2nd, 2020, 15th of the 3rd, 2020, and also on the 10th of the 1st, 2018, and the 13th of 01, 2018, 11th of 03, 2018, all in London, in the BMW LM16 CZV, while Miss Ekong was working for Microsoft Reading and had use of the vehicle as a company car. On all the 3 offences, she nominated Lucy Bywater as the driver. This girl is not very smart, is she? On checking insurance for this vehicle, it did not show that the register keeper was Miss Oskam, who was being insured in her name. It did, however, show that Miss Victoria Ekong of 48 Pembroke Avenue, Enfield, and Sammy Alexandra as insured to drive the vehicle at the time. Of these offences, on the 22nd December 2020, Sussex Offence ANPR showed a black male driver and a black female passenger, Miss Ekong, in the vehicle around the same time on the Sussex offence. The vehicle was purchased from a company called Saxton 4x4 on the 18th of October 2018 by a Fatma Oskan of 16 Aylands Road, Enfield, EN3, 6 p.m. And as part of identification, she produced a passport in that name. At the time, it was displaying the registration YS14UHN, but later was changed to V777 CEO. The address given for Mrs. Bywater was 61 Marksville Road, was visited by police and established a false address. The address the vehicle was in fact registered Mrs. Ekong's address. It appeared to the police that Fatma Oskan was Miss Ekong's mother, that the vehicle had been kept in her mother's name. It also transpired that Miss Oskan had never had a full license to drive and had never been insured in the said vehicle. Miss Oskan appeared to reside at whatever address Miss Oskan was living at, which tended to point to a family member. and their passport photograph resembled each other's mother and daughter. The interview. On the 10th of August 2020, Mrs. Ikon was interviewed at Shoreham Police Station under caution in the presence of her solicitor. Ms. Ikon answered the majority of the questions with no comment. The allegation. In the essence of the Crown alleged that Ms. Ikon had used the registering of the said vehicle to her own ends in order to escape prosecution for anything involving with this vehicle had since 2018 been using the name Lucy Bywater to escape prosecution. The personal vehicle regularly for his own use. After a while, she stopped challenging for fear of angry outbursts and violence towards her. Okay. Mr. Ndiko had managed to collect speeding tickets which would go to her mother's home address. Mr. Ndiko would then pass them Mrs. Ndiko. On one occasion, Ms. Ekon accused Mr. Ndiko of being responsible for a speeding ticket, but later discovered that it was her lodger who had taken the vehicle without her consent. The lodger admitted what she had done and filled out a statutory declaration exonerating Ms. Ekon. On numerous occasions, Mr. Ndiko took either one of her vehicles and accrued speeding fines while driving both vehicles. Mr. Nduku would not accept responsibility for the fines as he did not have a driving license. Ms. Ekon argued with him over this, and once more he was violent towards her. Mr. Ndiko then formulated a scheme where he would blame the non-existent person Lucy Bywater. Mr. Ndiko would fill out the forms and demand that Ms. Ekon sign them. Ms. Ekon completed with his demands because she was in fear for her life. Oh, here we go again. Disclosure. The Crown are requested in light of this defence raised to serve any material in its possession and will assist Ms. Ekon to show that Mr. Nduka had assaulted her and sexually assaulted her. Oh, here we go. Records of this should be held by the police. The Crown are further requested to provide defence of any history held for Mr. Denzel Nduku. Okay, Denzel. So this was Denzel. So guys, she had a vehicle that her mother purchased with her passport. Since 2018, she'd been racking up tickets with it. And under the name of Lucy Bywater, when they've checked her on the police database, insurance database, they found out that she does not exist. They found out that, yeah, essentially it's fake. And when they've done a little bit more investigation, they've gone into it. And then she's blamed it on Denzel, but he never had a license at the time, so he didn't want to accept liability for it, of course. And then that's when she said that he made her, he made her do everything, and it was under the threat of being essayed again. Guys, whenever Victoria Everest gets in a position, she uses essay as a way to get out of it. Have you not noticed this? And she throws men underneath the bus. So she never ever went to prison for what she actually did. She got convicted of perjury, preventing the court, do you understand? And fraud, but not for putting a man in jail for grape. She didn't get done for that. I want everyone to be aware. She's playing the system and she's playing with your emotions. So it doesn't show it too well here, but Victoria Everest has got penalty notice after penalty notice, convictions for shoplifting, theft. She has convictions for more theft and more shoplifting from the Metropolitan Police. Theft, shoplifting, Essex Police. She has a rap sheet so long.
Don't let this Victoria Everest situation fizzle out. Now, I wanted to speak on it before, but I was waiting for all of the information, and I wanted to hear her side of the story. And then shortly after, I travelled. So I didn't have time before, but I've got time today. Now, there's a lot to unpack, but I'm going to touch on 3 things that I personally believe are the most important. Number 1. Now, many of my friends and some family members are victims of SA. And I believe this is the closest thing to unaliving someone, because you break something in their soul that can never be fixed.
Let's just hold that there for a second. Victims of SA is equivalent to unaliving someone, because you take something from them they cannot get back. Do you know how powerful that is? So he's starting this off by letting you know how serious he takes this. So he treats SA like taking someone's life, because you literally take something you cannot bring back.
Nothing you can truly do to heal someone that's gone through something so traumatic. And me personally, this is my worst nightmare. But to add insult to injury is that the people that they love and the people that they expect to defend them and have their back don't believe them, because they're people like Victoria Everest.
A common sentiment amongst the victims of SA and grape is that how hard it is to get justice and to be believed. So I can agree with that. But when you have people like Victoria Everest, what they do, they literally kicked mud into those victims' faces, because it's already hard to believe them. Now we got someone that is using it and weaponizing it to get back at previous relationships.
So imagine going through something so traumatic, and the people that should be there for you not only not believe you, but they punish you for allegedly lying. And this is why people like Victoria Everest should be punished and ostracized and completely cancelled, especially when we understand the domino effect it has on true victims of SA.
And that's it, simply said. She needs to be cancelled. She needs to be brought to justice, because she, and this case, is affecting the real victims of SA and Grape.
Nothing can justify doing something so devilish. Number 2, there's many cases of men that have done long periods of time in prison and even been unalived over false allegations. And even if this doesn't happen, there's a stain that's left on them that can never be removed.
You heard Clue and Bouncer talking about what happens to man in jail, right? On them charges, yeah? Until they get the all clear, yeah? So that stain can never be removed. Some people believe in there's no smoke without fire. There's 2 things you do not want around your name: anything to do with grape or SA, or anything to do around kids. The moment you do that, you're gonna get some people that just gonna be like, well, do you know how hard it is to prove? So once they do that, the stain sticks.
I don't understand why many people are trivializing this situation, knowing they've got brothers and sons and fathers that can also be victims of false allegations.
I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of these women, especially black women, they hate us. They hate us. They have a huge disdain to us. And a lot of the times we remind them of their relationships with their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, the men they've had relationships in the past, and they just see us and they hate us, and they identify more with Victoria.
And one of the worst cases in our recent history is that of Emmett Till, a young man that was tortured and deformed and unalived over a false allegation.
Historically, these false allegations have been used against black men like Emmett Till, who unfortunately his life was cut short due to racism and due to allegations made by him by white women, and white men felt as if they had to get retribution.
And this is why people like her should be punished, and there should be laws in place to severely punish these people that do false allegations.
I want to go one further than that, my guy. Any woman that is found to be a liar, just like a man is found to be of grape, she needs to be put on the register, just like Claire's law. We're going to call this China's law. So any woman that is found to be lying against a man of grape or salt or anything in a relationship, she has to be put on the register, so any men that date her in the future can check her name out and see if this woman is a liar. So when Zizi was talking about have discernment, man, them, I want China's law. And China's law is that any woman that's previously been in court or accused a man of something like grape, and then she's found to be a liar, needs to be on the register. Okay, and we can talk about sentencing and the rest of that. Yeah. But the one thing we're gonna do is she needs to be in the register that men can check.
Number 3, I believe women should be treated well, and in relationships you should enter them in goodness and leave in goodness. And any man that's got morals should treat women the way he wishes his daughter to be treated. But the reality is that people are not perfect. They make mistakes and hearts get broken. But this still doesn't justify doing something so devilish. React accordingly. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Someone disrespects you or oppresses you, deal with them accordingly. But if you're a woman that has morals and you believe in God, you can never do something so devilish just because your heart has been broken.
Ladies, I know how it feels. Man may cheat on you, he might do the most to you, and you feel as if you need to get your get back. You're frustrated, you don't have brothers, you can't get any justice. But never ever make a false claim against him, okay? Like what he says, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. But don't make it an eye and then try to put a man's life. No.
And in life, people are sent to you to test you. And God is kind, and he'll replace them with much better. And he'll deal with them accordingly. You think people's going to oppress you when you're close to God and they're going to get away with it? You might think they do, but they never get away with it.
The Lord, God and Saviour that I serve will prepare a banquet in front of my enemies, and we shall eat. So ladies, don't feel as if you need to get your get back. Don't worry. Like, karma is a dish best served cold, as they say, and God don't like ugly and God never sleeps. So if a man's done something to you, don't worry, he'll get his just desserts.
So please, sisters, I understand that, you know, some men can be scumbags and they break your hearts. But be patient and understand that, you know, God's got a lot better waiting for you. And I ask all the women that are going through certain situations similar, where their hearts are being broken or they're taken advantage of or they're oppressed, you know, to get much better down the line. But it's never going to justify doing something so devilish. So don't let this situation fizzle out. This woman needs to be punished, ostracized, and completely cancelled.
So guys, we've come to the end of the video, Surviving Victoria Everest. If you like this video, then make sure you like the video, you comment, subscribe to the channel, turn notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you're really in your bag, then, you know, hit us with a donation, hype the video, drop the comments. Man, them, we are standing up for the rights of men and also standing up for the rights of women that are truly abused at the hands of some of the most disgusting, disrespectful men. And unfortunately, this wasn't one of those times. Let's hold her up to accountable.